Stressful times, man. Stressful times. It would be nice to be able to buy a home without having to be a doctor or a nurse or something like that. I know that the way companies, do business, the way they grow, they're always trying to improve year by year and get more and more money year by year. But in doing so, you make it so that the consumer now has to get more money as well. So if your business keeps growing, you keep bringing up the prices and prices go up. That means income for the random or the average consumer needs to go up as well. Unfortunately, that does not happen in this country. We live in a country where your worth is based on how much money you make. And there's a lot of people not making a lot of money right now. If you don't have a two-person income, you're fucked. And not only that, you need to have a decent job, like a job, not only a decent job, but a job that gives you some security, something that's not going to fail or, change in 5 or 10 years. So there's so much uncertainty. Like there's so much uncertainty with buying a home in Southern California. I'm sure there's a lot of other states. If you have this similar situation in your state, I'm sure it sucks. But in California, it is almost impossible to own a home if you don't sell your butthole on OnlyFans or something like that. Like it's insane, right? You either have to be some type of medical person or professional where you had a trade job or you got training, or you have to be in entertainment or something. Other than that, you're out here, you're in an apartment or you've moved to San Bernardino area or some shit like that. Like, you want to be in Southern California, you have to. Like, the only people that live out here, like, I see people when they walk out of their homes, I swear they have scrubs on. By my daughter's school, when I drop her off, her college, when I see the surrounding neighborhood, which is a very, very affluent, very, very nice neighborhood, everybody has on scrubs. I'm not lying. If you're not a doctor or a medical professional, or if you're not somebody who makes $45 an hour, you're not going to go very far if you try to buy a home in California. You're going to end up buying some type of shack, or, if you want a bigger family, you're good luck. Like you better have 3 or 4 adults in that home who have a job and that are willing to pay towards the rent. It's insane. The sheer idea of buying a home in Carson for $1 million. Like, that's how the housing market was, right? Now I've seen the prices go down a little bit. It's April, what is today? April 3rd. So of course prices are a little lower now because of the market and people haven't been buying and the economy is just like, ugh. I can't even deal with this right now. But especially in places like Southern California where, there's a lot of affluent neighborhoods. If you just want to live in a decent neighborhood, right? A place where, you can raise your family and you can put, your projector outside in your backyard. You can have a movie night, or, you can have a dog run around in your front yard because your front yard is big enough. You can't have that here unless you are some type of professional, unless you're like in management or something and have a decent home here. You can't do it. The average person can't do it. So you have to be in a position of management. You have to be in a position of power or some type of entertainment. That's just the bottom line. Like, it's insane. When my dad was ready to buy a house, prices and income were way different. Listen to these stats. Around the late 80s and the 90s, the median U.S. home price was about $98,000, right? Which is okay. Income was about $31,000, right? So that was like 3 times your yearly income. You could do that. Like, if you had $30,000 a year and your house was $98,000, $96,000, you could afford that. Like, that was very, very possible. Today, the median U.S. home price is about $416,000. the average household income is only $83,000. That's 5 times your yearly income. That's insane. Like we're getting worse economically as we get smarter. It doesn't make sense to me. That's a 66% jump. Insane. You would need $112,000. Everybody is about $25,000 short per year to own a home. 74% of US households cannot afford a median price home now. 74%. Back in the day, first time buyers were about 28 years old, right? Now they're literally my age, 40 years old and up. Like, what are we doing? And apparently there's a shortage, allegedly, by 4 million homes. There's a shortage. The system has changed. It is rigging itself so that we cannot progress. I don't know. Let me know what you think, though. Like, what can we do as a nation, as a country? How can we get better? How can we make it so that the average person, the average business owner, small business owner can own their own home and not pay ridiculous prices for rent? Like, how do we get to a place where things are more affordable? I don't know. It's super disappointing. Let's figure it out. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Maybe we all need to start voting better. Who knows? Catch you guys in the next one.